Hello and happy birthday to all of the March Aries out there. Welcome to your March 2024 tarot card reading. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thanks to everyone for being here. So for these tarot card readings, you are free to watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign. If you're interested in your love energies, you can certainly check out your Venus sign as well to see if that resonates for you too. So let's go ahead and keep it short and sweet this month. Let's go ahead and get right into the reading. Hello Aries and welcome to your March 2024 tarot card reading. So we're going to go ahead and get started with an animal spirit card. What is it that you'll need to know as we move through March? Think on your feet. Okay, I love this. It's that good reminder that as much as we like to plan and we like to, try to have some control and structure in our lives, it's also really important to be able to go moment to moment and to make good calls in the short term. So there might be some twists and turns for you throughout the month of March. There might be, some unexpected events or unexpected conversations that occur that might make you, say, oh, well, maybe I do need to veer off in this other direction, or I need to focus on this other thing a little bit more. Maybe it wasn't the original plan, but it's what's needed now. So I think not only does think on your feet really speak to kind of a cunning nature, but it's also flexible and it's not rigid and it's not stubborn in any way, shape, or form. Because I think if you were to have stubbornness, then when those occurrences actually take place where you would need to change course a little bit, the stubbornness might make that really, really hard to do. So this is about getting out of your own way and allowing yourself to move in the direction toward the solutions that are best for you, and to not, you really, really don't have to have a lot of control over this, okay? Going from a moment to moment, like a moment to moment thing can be okay sometimes. And I think maybe you're going to need that throughout the month of March, okay? So let's pull out a moon card. Let's see what comes through. What else does Aries need to know for March? You're very close to achieving your goal. See, and sometimes when certain things come up and we are stubborn, we can only be slowing down our own success. And I don't think that's what anyone, especially not Aries, really wants to do. You're not wanting to slow down your own success or delay it or postpone it in any way, shape, or form, especially not when the finish line is actually a lot closer than you think. So there is an element of really getting out of your comfort zone here. I think Pluto coming into Aquarius in January, I know it's been in there for like a month, but it is, challenging us to kind of get out of our comfort zone a little bit. And even to have Saturn in Pisces, there's a lot of unraveling that's going on there. And that's not only throughout 23, but through 24 and 2025 as well. So we have these like 3 years, 2 years in front of us as of now, where we really should be embracing this disillusion of things that were in the past and this embrace, and we should be embracing things that are for our future. Okay, so when it comes to your goals, I really think you're a lot closer than you realize, and you should, kind of have that sense of agility. I'm kind of even getting a more athletic quality. Now, when I mean athletic, I don't necessarily mean your physical body, although maybe it could be that. But obviously, think on your feet is more mental, like mental athletics, if you will, being able to just pick up and go, okay? So let's take a look at the tarot cards. What is it that Aries needs? I actually love this for Aries, even just the card itself with its bright kind of reds and oranges and yellows. It's kind of just a fiery card in general. So I just kind of like that for you. 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands. A lot of wands. Well, speaking of fire, and now we have wands, the fire element being presented 3 times, 3 in a row. The good news is none of these are major arcana, which means that the things you're going to have to deal with are manageable. It's not going to be so dramatic or so complicated that you're not going to be able to find your way out. But I think sometimes we hit these points of compression, which I often see with the Five of Wands. This is like either relationships with other people, kind of some politics stuff going on at work or within the family. There's just difficult personalities, or you've just reached a certain point in some circumstance of your life where it starts to become like kind of makes you start feeling aggressive, like you aggressively want to get out of it, okay? But there is a competitive nature, and I think maybe a little bit of that is stirring up within Aries throughout the course of March, and probably even so into April as well, as we make our way out of Pisces into Aries at the end of March. That's gonna kind of continue a little bit. But this is a good thing, because what it does is it pushes you and it forces you to rise above. It forces you to work harder, as we see with the 10 of Wands. You know, there might be a significant amount of work that needs to be done in order to get yourself out or away of or through a point of compression in your life. But maybe something hasn't changed because you haven't felt that pressure. So yes, the pressure can be annoying and frustrating and make you feel like you're trapped a little bit, but it is the pressure itself that is the reason you get out. All right, so it's not, I mean, I really don't think this is a time for Aries to just kind of sit and succumb. As much as I love Pisces season for surrendering and, you know, letting things go and kind of meandering through, like that's okay a little bit during Pisces season, but I actually don't know that you're going to want to do that. We do have Mars still in Aquarius, and Mars is your ruling planet, so we really want to pay attention to what Mars is doing. So Mars being in Aquarius is kind of that, you know, pushing beyond the barrier, pushing beyond what is currently known, pushing beyond that which has been preserved for a significant period of time, and starting to break free. And so when you have that initial break free energy, there can be an initial element of chaos as that boundary comes crumbling down. So that might be really what's going on in a bigger picture. So if you look at it from that 10,000 foot perspective, maybe it's not going to be as insurmountable. But I look at this Seven of Wands and I'm like, Aries, don't fight this. Like you're gonna have to kind of do the work, but don't fight against it, because by fighting against the compression, by fighting against the tight circumstances, whatever they may be, maybe they are financial, again, maybe they are relationship oriented, maybe there's something going on at the office or whatever, but don't fight against them and don't view them as adversarial, because they're not. They're not adversarial. They are meaningful in your push to finally achieve your, because look, you're very close to achieving your goal. So it would make sense that there are things that are happening in your life that are helping you to get there, even though you might not, because usually when we hit a Five of Wands, we don't perceive that as being something productive. We usually perceive that as an interruption and something that's irritable, right? It irritates us, something that we have to deal with. It's problematic. It's an obstacle or a hurdle of some kind. It's actually not. It will feel like it, but it's actually not. So when we can embrace that, we're going to be that much better off. So it's not for us to defend ourselves. It's not for us to fight against others or to be right or to be the one that wins. It's really more about just getting through this and doing the work and developing the character that is necessary and required to get through this. Okay? It doesn't mean your whole life is going to turn upside down, by the way. I know my language can be very dramatic, but it's probably just one area of your life and probably something that you've hit your limit with. Okay, there's definitely something with relationships, okay? Now, the Lovers is a card of choice and choices. Sometimes with the Lover reversed, it feels like there's a wedge being placed in our lives and we can feel really torn and we can feel kind of at war with ourselves sometimes. Like on one hand, our heart wants to go in one direction. Like if we didn't have any restrictions, we definitely would do that thing over there. But we do have restrictions. And so the other part of us is like, yeah, but we still need to survive and pay our bills. So we can't really just go off and do this. So there is that wedge that might be placed between you, or not between you, but within you. And you may feel an internal divide. But that's, again, kind of adding to that Five of Wands drama or chaos that's going to help you to find solutions, think on your feet, right? To find the solutions so that you can then become unified again. I have no doubt that you will find a way to do that. I have no doubt that you will kind of re-emerge more whole and complete. It's just the transition. And Aquarius and Pisces seasons, by the way, and I know we're no longer in Aquarius season, but these last two seasons of the astrological year, there is a lot of detachment that happens. And usually detachment kind of enables us to realign with other things. So there is a lot that's just kind of up in the air right now. And when we hit Aries season on the 19th of March, and then we make our way into April, I do think Aries is going to feel a little bit more on track and a little bit more settled with things as you go through your solar returns, okay? But it is possible that there are certain collaborations. It does feel like there might be a bit of a communication breakdown to some degree. We do have Mercury coming into connection with Neptune, which is really not my favorite transit. And then even when Mercury comes into Aries, now, just so you know, Mercury will be retrograding in your sign this year, not in March, okay, but he's going to start entering that pre-shadow phase, okay? Plus, we're also making our way into eclipse season, which is happening end of March, beginning of April. So we're kind of moving into that weird time where things just generally are going to be a little bit more heightened in terms of the energetic field around it. So having miscommunications, having mishaps, having kind of butting heads with people, none of that really surprises me. Again, it's not all that dramatic. It's just, it's going to reveal a lot. It's going to reveal a lot about what you actually want and what you don't want and what you want to put up with and what you don't want to put up with and who you want to put it up with. Right? So there's going to be a lot revealed regarding relationships. But I'm also kind of sensing with the Eight of Coins reversed that there's this quality of, on one hand, you really want to sit down and get this work done, but there might be a lot, Five of Wands stuff, that's pulling you away from doing that Eight of Coins. And so when you are actually doing your Eight of Coins, which I often feel that this is like the flow state. So whatever projects you have going on that put you in that flow state, it might be something at work that you really enjoy doing. It might be a hobby you really enjoy doing. It might be a new creative project you're enjoying doing, or a hobby or whatever. But I know that your attention wants to be there, but the other aspects of life might be kind of pulling you in an opposite direction. And that's something that I think Aries just is like, oh, I hate when this happens, because as a Mars-ruled sign, as a cardinal sign, as a fire sign, you just really want to go in to do what you want to do and not really be torn in half and have to do all these other things you don't really want to have to do. So I do think you're in a little bit of a tough spot, that there's kind of this division happening, but I don't think that's going to last very long as things start to readjust and you reach some kind of an equilibrium with things. But that's maybe, right, maybe this Eight of Coins, the contrast between these two things actually feels beneficial again, because you're going to determine more and more that there is a circumstance in your life that you really don't want and you really don't like. You like your 8 of coins a lot better. This is a talent or a skill or a project or something that you wish you could do more of. And your fox spirit is like, well, how can I do that? How can I get from this torn in half place to be all in my 8 of coins, where I feel like I'm in the flow and I feel like I'm really connected with my life and I'm connected with the flow of life too, because this is very anti-flow. So you're going to probably make some decisions this month, maybe not big ones, maybe not immediately life-changing, but they are going to be that initial spark that as the year continues, and I would say that a lot of the decisions that you make now may not necessarily really take hold until Leo, Virgo, Libra seasons of 2024, because that's when things really start to happen in terms of manifestation, okay? But the sparks and the initial decisions and the initial choices right now are very, very important, because this 8 of coins is like your dream. It's what you ultimately want. And you're being put through this compression in order to get more of this. Okay? This feels very manifestation-y, if I'm being honest. It feels a lot about what Aries wants to manifest and to make into a reality in their life. So decisions right now do matter. But you may have to be, logistics-wise, you may have to be torn in half for a minute or for a couple of months. But over time, if you continually think on your feet and start rearranging your life strategically, you can get more and more and more of this 8 of coins, which is the work you actually want to be doing, okay? And maybe that's even why there's a little irritability and miscommunications and stuff going on here too, is because you're just maybe not all that in it. You know, you're not connected to it. So you're just feeling yourself drifting off into new places. Okay. I love the 4 of Wands because it's an indication of security. I'm not worried about Aries financially. I'm not worried about Aries in terms of, anything super negative happening. This 4 of Wands feels like what I would call a safety net. Okay, the universe has your back. Spirit has your back. There's something powerful at play here, and you are safe. So slowly as you make these decisions, now even judgment, when it's reversed, it does not always feel like you are entirely clear on how to do something. And that's why I think on your feet, there really is this moment to moment kind of approach to things. If you know ultimately where you want to go, and you can only see, well, today, this is the one choice that I think can get me closer. Maybe you're not sure, but you think, I think making this decision might get me closer to that life that I want. Then you're going to have to just operate in that short-term kind of thing. Now, keep in mind, this is not self-destructive thinking on your feet. It's not like, oh, I'm at the store and now all of a sudden I want to swipe my credit card a whole bunch and put myself into a bunch of debt, and that's thinking on my feet. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, we're not talking about impulse. We're not talking about doing things on a whim. There is still a goal in mind. So as you are thinking on your feet, make sure that your decisions align with what you want the most, okay? Because obviously being in a store and impulsively buying a bunch of stuff and getting yourself in debt is probably not what you want the most. Most likely, okay? So you can't really see entirely, but you can see enough. With a fox spirit, right? You can see what's right in front of you, and you can see what is obvious, and you can make decisions in that short vision. Like, I want to say short-sighted, but it usually has like a negative connotation, but like there's just a short-term vision that's available to you right now, and that's enough. And I think hopefully you can take that to heart and say, I don't know everything, and I can't see everything, and I can't foresee everything, but I can see enough to make this decision today. And then you actually make the decision, and then you actually back it up with some kind of action. Now, the Knight of Cups, I really, really love, especially because it is Pisces season. I like the romanticism and the sense of possibility that the Knight of Cups brings. And I think we all can benefit from a sense of possibility right now. We can all benefit from that hope and that belief that things can be possible. Because I also think this compression is like, oh, well, it is possible for me to get out. You know, it's possible for me to create a new life, or it's possible for me to work through this. You know, you're going to need that belief in some way, shape, or form. And it's really showing up here for you with the Knight of Cups. And usually the Knight of Cups does have a more expansive quality. And I do see him attracting good fortune a little bit easier, I think, than some of the other court cards, just simply because he kind of has that more whimsical approach to things. Okay, that there's this kind of almost like, I want to say a naivete, but it's not as much as like the Fool card, okay? But there is this kind of innocence going forward with that Knight of Cups, which makes you a very attractive for new opportunities. When we're here, we're so much in this state of control, or we're trying to control so much that like that's really how we got to that place in the first place. So we have to kind of relinquish some control here. And I think the Knight of Cups is really good at that. And knowing that you are safe to do that might help you to do that a little bit more. Okay? All right, Aries. So let's take a look at the clarifiers. For those of you who are new here, the cards I'm about to pull out, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. The link for that and all the ways to watch will be found in the description box down below. So let's see with the 5 of Wands. Oh, another 10 of Wands. Okay. Another Lover's card. And a 3 of Coins. A lot of repeats with that one. 2 of Cups. 3 of... Okay. There is something about relationships, and there's a big difference between good ones and not so good ones. 5 of Coins. There's the Fool. Another 8 of Coins. Wow, you're getting a lot of repeat. I like that because it solidifies the message. And then we have the Magician. An Empress. King of Wands, there you are, Aries, for sure that's you. King of Cups, also for sure that's you. Oops, sorry, hold on, I dropped a card, 1 second. And it dropped upright, so I'm going to keep it because I saw it. So it's the Ace of Swords. Hermit and the Prince of Swords. Hierophant, Queen of Coins, Strength, the Star, 4 of Cups, beautiful Wheel of Fortune. It does feel very fortunate, like a fortunate time. Just slow. A slow fortune, but a fortune nonetheless. 9 of Swords. And another 4 of Wands. Beautiful. I love that clarified itself. 5 of Cups. King of Swords. And Judgment again. Okay. Love this. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. In the comprehensive, again, all the info is down below. Thank you so much, Aries. You know I love and adore you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.